The war in Ukraine has entered its third year, marked by relentless fighting and a devastating human toll. The conflict, sparked by Russia's invasion in February 2024, has become a grinding war of attrition. Both sides are entrenched in defensive positions, with neither able to achieve a decisive victory. The conflict has had far-reaching consequences, destabilizing the region and sending shockwaves through the global economy. Amidst the ongoing violence, recent ceasefire negotiations offer a glimmer of hope for a peaceful resolution. A senior Kremlin envoy reported significant progress following talks with U.S. officials in Washington. While details remain under wraps, the positive tone signals a potential breakthrough. A partial ceasefire agreement, focused on protecting energy infrastructure and ensuring grain shipments through the Black Sea, remains in effect. However, both sides have accused each other of violations, highlighting the fragility of the agreement. The Ukraine conflict has become a focal point of global diplomacy, with world powers maneuvering for influence and seeking to shape the outcome. China, Russia's strategic partner, has deepened its engagement with Moscow. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi described the relationship as reaching a new level. Meanwhile, a coalition of 31 nations met in Paris to discuss security guarantees for Ukraine and explore options for a peacekeeping force. The coalition emphasized the need for a European leader to engage directly with Russia in seeking a negotiated settlement. NATO is actively considering a peacekeeping mission to Ukraine, signaling its commitment to the country's security. France and the UK are at the forefront of these discussions, proposing a reassurance force under NATO command. The mission's goal would be to deter further Russian aggression and create conditions for a lasting peace. The proposed force would likely involve a limited number of troops deployed along Ukraine's borders with Russia and Belarus. Section 5. The battlefield remains active. Russia reinforces as fighting persists. Despite diplomatic efforts, fighting continues on the ground in Ukraine. Russia is reportedly planning to bolster its forces with an additional 150,000 troops, indicating its intent to maintain military pressure. Russian forces have made incremental gains in recent weeks, particularly around the strategically important city of Pokrovsk. Ukrainian forces, however, have mounted fierce counterattacks, slowing the pace of Russia's advance. The conflict has taken a heavy toll on both sides, with casualties mounting and infrastructure devastated. Section 6. Bolstering Ukraine's defense, military and financial aid flow in. The United States and its European allies continue to provide substantial military and financial aid to Ukraine, bolstering its ability to defend itself against Russian aggression. General Todd Wolters, Supreme Allied Commander Europe, stressed the critical importance of U.S.-supplied weapons and intelligence in Ukraine's fight. The European Union recently disbursed €3.5 billion in financial assistance to Ukraine, part of a larger €50 billion aid package. This funding is crucial for supporting Ukraine's economy, which has been severely impacted by the conflict. Section 7. The West calls for unity. NATO seeks increased defense spending. The Ukraine war has underscored the importance of transatlantic unity and the need for increased defense spending by NATO members. U.S. Senator Marco Rubio and UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy called on European allies to boost their defense budgets. They argued that a stronger European defense posture is essential for deterring future aggression and sharing the burden of collective security more equitably. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg echoed these calls, emphasizing that we need to invest more in our defense together. Section 8. A fragile hope for peace. The path ahead remains uncertain. The situation in Ukraine remains fluid and unpredictable. While recent ceasefire talks offer a glimmer of hope, the path to a lasting peace is fraught with challenges. Russia's continued military buildup and its intransigence on key issues pose significant obstacles. The international community must maintain pressure on Russia to seek a diplomatic solution while continuing to support Ukraine's right to self-defense. The coming months will be critical in determining whether the fragile hope for peace can be transformed into a durable reality.